Have you ever noticed how easy it is to talk about listening to your body and how much harder it is to actually do it, especially with food? Because when urges show up, they're often loud, fast, and convincing. My name is Michelle Shelton. I'm a dietitian and a coach, and today I want to talk about embodiment and food, what it looks like in real life, not as a concept, but as a moment-by-moment practice. And I want to bring it to life with a very ordinary story from my own kitchen. The last few weeks, we've been talking about patterns, those automatic strategies that we fall into, and shadow, the vulnerability and fear beneath those patterns. This video is about what happens after that insight, when you're not trying to control yourself, not trying to fix yourself, but learning how to respond from the body and with wisdom. That's embodiment. So earlier this week, I was in my kitchen with my oldest son who had just returned home from school. And as he made his after-school snack, I was hungry too. So I pulled out the cashews and dark chocolate chips. And honestly, I ate a lot, probably more than my body needed. Afterward, two very different things were happening inside of me. The first was loud. It said, well, now that we've eaten this much, we might as well keep going. Let's make a brownie cup. Let's grab some Tostitos lime chips, because who cares? It was that familiar sinking ship voice. We've already crossed the line, so let's just go all the way down. That voice didn't care about hunger. It didn't care about how I'd feel later. It just wanted more now. And the truth is, in that moment, it wasn't really about food. Then something important happened. I had to leave to pick up my kids from school. That interruption mattered, not because it forced restraint, but because it created space. Space between the urge and my next action. And in that space, I noticed something else. I realized I had a headache, which I've learned is pretty common for me when I eat too much chocolate. I also noticed I wasn't actually hungry anymore. I'd eaten enough. And I also noticed the agitation I was feeling, anticipating the chaos that often ensues at the end of the school day as I'm navigating my own work responsibilities and supporting my children in homework, after school activities, dinner, friends, practice. It's a lot. And what my body needed wasn't more food. It needed time to process the food I'd eaten. It needed support in the chaos, and it needed care. And here's the most important part. I didn't stop eating because I judged myself. I didn't criticize what I'd eaten. I didn't withhold food as punishment. I gave myself full permission to eat more if I wanted. But I stayed curious. I stayed with the fullness. I stayed with the headache. I stayed with what was actually happening in my body. And the wisdom that emerged was simple. Eating more would make me feel worse, not better. So I didn't eat. Not from control, not from discipline, but from embodiment. So I want to break down this experience and offer you 6 things that you can use to practice this in your own life. These 6 things are what made that moment different. Not perfect, but embodied. So the first was space. Interrupting the action. For me, that meant interrupting the automatic next bite. And I was lucky. Life gave me the space when I had to leave to pick up my kids. But often we need to create space for ourselves. So this might look like stepping into a different room, or going for a short walk, or getting a glass of water, maybe going out to check the mail, changing your physical location in any small way. And the point here is not distraction. The point is pause. Creating just enough distance so the body can be heard. Second is permission, knowing that I could eat more. And this part is really essential because without permission, the urge actually gets stronger. Restriction feeds rebellion and control creates resistance. And so when you give yourself genuine permission, all of that relaxes. The nervous system softens and wisdom has room to emerge. The third part is no judgment, no shame, no self-criticism. And now it's very normal for the inner critic to show up in this space, right? Most of us have one, and this is a perfect place for it to pop up. And when it does, don't argue with it, just notice it. Notice it and gently bring your attention back to your body. This will take some practice, but I promise It's possible. Fourth is curiosity, asking, what's actually happening in my body right now? Not what should I be doing or what does this mean about me? Just what am I noticing? What am I experiencing? Fifth, being with, not escaping discomfort, but being with what's happening. Let yourself feel the fullness. Let yourself feel the tension, the headache, the restlessness, whatever is there, be with it. And sixth, wise response. Responding to what your body truly needs, not what the urge demands, not what the rules say, but what your body is asking for in this moment. For me, the wise response wasn't more food. It was time, it was processing, it was care and support in the chaos. This is what it means to eat from body wisdom, not control, not perfection, but presence. That urge I experienced at first, that was a pattern. Not bad, not wrong, just a part trying to avoid discomfort by reaching for a distraction. But embodiment didn't come from fighting that part. It came from listening beneath it, from following those 6 steps, from letting the body speak once the urgency softened. Embodiment doesn't mean you'll never overeat. It means you trust yourself enough to pause, to feel, and to respond with care. Not perfection, but with presence. So this week, I invite you to notice. When an urge shows up, can you create a little space? Can you offer permission instead of control? Can you stay curious about what your body is actually experiencing and asking for? Because when you do, wisdom will meet you there. If this resonates, I'd love for you to be a part of this community. So please hit subscribe for more conversations on embodiment, food, and healing. And if you're ready to explore this work more personally, to build trust with your body and with yourself, I offer free coaching consultations. The link is in the video description. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you in the next video.